Hi folks. So Max sent me this video of some curious audio that he wanted me to check out. First I'll just play the short video for you. Then I want to show you the interesting things that I found. First of all, thanks to Max for sending this in to me. He has a great channel on YouTube. You should definitely subscribe to him over there. I'll leave the link in the description below. Okay, so here's the audio after I extracted it and put it into Audacity's Spectrogram view to see what's going on. The first thing I noticed was that we had some annoying low frequency sounds, so I ran it through a high pass filter. Then I ran some excessive noise reduction. Okay, that really doesn't help much. So now, I want to divide this into two separate calls. This first one with the opera singer quality to it, and this second bizarre thing here. I'm going to tackle the opera singer first. And the first thing I want to determine is what vowel is she singing?
E. A. A.
So now it's just a matter of finding some peer-reviewed data regarding what human female formants should look like when orating that particular vowel. It's not hard, there's a ton of research out there. Some good keywords to start your Google searches are, if you want to, phonetics, phonology, allophones, alleles, formants, vocal tracts. That should give you a good start if you want to dive in. Feel free to leave a comment below if you do and want to add something. Incredibly boring stuff, really. I gave up after about 30 minutes. To be clear, I should have said this at the onset. By comparing the peer-reviewed data to what Max has in his recording here, we are trying to use the process of elimination to see if this is within the normal human vocal range. In no way is this analysis going to prove anything. The only thing it might be able to do is shed some doubt on the possibility that this vocal might be from a human. Not trying to prove this is old she-squatch, since we have no solid data for that to compare it to anyways. But we do have some solid human research to compare it to. Here we have a little chart where we have the first three human formants for the vowel that I think is closest to what Max recorded. The vowel that I think is closest is this one denoted with the bracketed AE symbol, which is this chart here in the middle. The black bars in that chart are from males, so I want to focus on the lighter gray bars here. So we have three numbers to remember from this. The first formant, or F1, is right around 800 hertz. F2 would be approximately 1750, and F3 would be slightly over 2500 hertz, or 2.5 kilohertz. Now we are going to take those numbers and plaster it over on the spectrogram of Max's recording where she's doing her opera thing. So this vocal has a steady F1 right where it's supposed to be at around 800 Hz. The stronger F2 has a pitch raise that peaks out at about 1750 Hz. So we can check that one off too. But what about our F3? Shouldn't we see it at around 2500 Hz or 2.5 kHz with this scale? I don't see it. Maybe because this was a recording of a recording, and the fainter F3 might be smashed out by the background noise when Max was making this recording. That's what all this excessive pink coloration is, and the F3 might be under all of that. No way to know unless I had the raw file. So for now I have to take it at face value and say that, well, there should still be some kind of trace of the Formant that we could still see at the 2.5 kilohertz range, but we don't. Matter of fact, the next one that's visible is this one here at about 5.5 kilohertz. That F3 is nearly double what the expected F3 should be. Okay, before I get to the second part of the call, I have to address these things way up here. We got some weird ghost formants way up here where they shouldn't be. Up here off the chart at 22K, 21K, 19.5K, 18K, 17K, so on and so forth, all the way down to 9 kilohertz. They are present on both parts of the call too. Now, I'm no audio expert, and I'm using my words here to try to reach out to an expert with professional knowledge in the off chance that you might actually be watching this. To please leave a comment below, please include a little bit about your engineering background too if you could. What are these ghost formants? Are these normal, or are these indicative of something that might shed some light on what's going on here? Now let's move on to this second call here. And I have to be completely honest with you. This sounds like it's been run through a delay. For those of you who do not have experience with electric guitar or vocal effects, a delay is a digital echo of the original signal that's added in post-production. Here's a mic check as an example. Check. 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 Now I have to be clear here. I'm as close to 100% sure that I can be that Max did not try to hoax this. We traded emails back and forth about the possibility that the sound could be manufactured, and he sounded just as perplexed as I was, whereas a true hoaxer would try to deflect and debunk the debunker. Could it have been someone out there call blasting a pre-recorded opera singer's voice that had the echo added in, unbeknownst to Max? Sure. That's probably my leading explanation. Maybe there were some other researchers out there that night trying to do their best Bobo and Cliff impersonations. But still, the vocal capabilities of these things never ceases to amaze me. But to perfectly mimic a delayed effect, I have a hard time trying to swallow that one. But what if some of these things out there are not biological? I'll pause for a moment while we get our tinfoil hats on. I'm a staunch believer that there are more than a few types of these strange things running around out there in our forests. They all don't necessarily have to be tall, stinky, and hairy. A third possibility that Max suggested, and partially explains why only one part of the call had the delay effect added to it, is that there was a second individual that uttered that short whoop from a different location than the first. And that location may have been between two steep rock faces that bounced the sound back and forth to produce the echo. This does sound plausible on paper, but the more I listen to it, it just seems too perfect. It sounds manufactured. But that's just one man's opinion. If you like my videos, please consider subscribing. Click on the bell to get notifications when I post a new video.